Thank you. I started it right now. I would like to start this meeting with two important quotes, which has like profound impact on my personality. Number one, Mark Twain has once said, "There are 2 days which are really important in someone's life. The day you are born, that's number one, and second, the day you find your purpose of life." Second quote is from Winston Churchill. He is prime minister. He was a great prime minister for London, and he has once said, "It takes 3 C's to convert your dreams into reality." And those 3 C's are the first C is commitment, second, consistency, and third as compliancy. So with that, I would like to start this meeting, and it's Mother's Day here and in India as well. So I think I request everybody to just keep your mom in prayers and appreciate all the kind help they have done to become what we are today. I'm so grateful to my mom. At least, unfortunately, I cannot meet my mom today, but I mean I know how challenging it could be if somebody loses their mom at a so early age. Moms are very, very important part of or integral part of our life. With that, today we have got like for the people who are joining here for the first time, I think Pallavi and Deepak Raj. So to give you background, all of us have been assigned one chapter, and we have to come up with 5 minute presentation where we have to address three important questions. Question number one, what is the central idea author was trying to convey? Question number two, what are your learnings and takeaway from that chapter? Last but not the least, how we can implement those ideas practically in life. And remember, you have got 5 minutes of your time to present a talk and deliver in front of us. If you are not able to do so, you have 30 seconds of grace period. And today I am going to be like a little stringent on housekeeping rules. If you are not able to finish within time limit of 5 minutes and 30 seconds, I request you to just end your speech wherever you are and message whatever message you have to deliver, just write in a WhatsApp group or send it to everybody because timing is very, very important. With that, I request timer Dilip. Dilip, you are timer for today. Where is Dilip? Dilip, you are here. Uh, Dilip is timer for today. So Dilip knows all the timing rules. And Dilip, for today, if you see somebody, just notify somebody loudly that they have completed 5 minutes and 30 seconds. And then they have to wrap up their speech. That makes sense? Are you clear? Okay, I assume you are clear.
Yes, yes.
All right. Now it's time for me to invite presenter number one, who is not here today because of medical appointment. I will go ahead and ask presenter number two. He is also not here today for some reason. Then I will ask presenter number four, who is Zach. And you guys all know Zach is not here today. So that's a sad news, right? But how many of you guys want Jack to be here? How many of you want right now that Jack should be here?
Yes, we all want.
Oh, you all want?
Yes.
Shout! I will see. I will call him and see if I can, bring him into this meeting, right? So give me a moment and let me check if he can be here. Okay?
Okay.
Because he is your friend, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So you know what? Everybody is able to see my screen. I'm sharing my screen. Everybody can see it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here is the thing. Zach has promised us that he's not going to disappoint Sakti and everybody. So Jack is coming in a moment. He's here.
Hey, Jack. Good morning.
Hi, Jack. Good morning. Nice to see you. Ajay, we can't hear.
The video is not audible.
Can you guys hear this? No?
No.
No.
Really? That's bad. Let me see. What you are hearing? A lot of noise, background noise?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think, oh, my bad. I have to unmute myself. My goodness. All right. Can you hear now? Can you guys hear now?
Voice is
No.
not clear.
Not clearly.
Interesting. I don't know what else I can do. What is like, you can't hear anything.
No, we can't
No.
hear anything.
I think you have to share with the audio also. Like it's not you are just sharing the screen. Just share with the audio.
Oh, thank you, Jen. How to do that?
Just see share the screen and just check whether the option is there or not.
You know what? Let me see. So I will stop sharing right now and try to share again. Yes, I think you are right. Share. Let me check. Let me check what I can do. I'm also pretty new to Zoom. Video setting. All right, then we will move ahead to different presenter. I know everybody was eager to see Zach, but because of some technical difficulties, we are not able to hear from him right now. We will move on to next presenter and see him later. So who is next? Now it's time for me to invite our next presenter, who is Janet. Guys, please welcome Janet on the stage.
Thank you. My presentation is on part 3, chapter 6, the safety valve in handling complaints. And basically what I understand the safety valve to be is controlling how much we talk. The rule number 6 at the end of the chapter is let the other man do a great deal of the talking. So if you disagree with someone, don't interrupt. He won't pay attention to you while he still has a lot of ideas of his own crying for attention. Listen patiently with an open mind. Be sincere. Encourage the other person to express his ideals fully. Most people talk too much when they are trying to win others to their own way of thinking, especially salesman. Talks about a salesman that had laryngitis, and he could just write notes on his paper, and at the meeting he asked the president of the company to talk for him, and it ends up that because he had laryngitis, the other people could share their thoughts more, and he ended up getting the sale. And there was another story about someone who was from an electric company, and he was at a person's house who was a Pennsylvania Dutch farmer where they don't use electricity very much. And he started out with, "I'm sorry, we've troubled you, but I didn't come here to sell you electricity. I merely wanted to buy some eggs." And he got the lady talking about her special Dominique chickens that lay the brown eggs. And he was hearty in his approval and lavish in his praise. And he got the sale eventually. And there was a story about someone who was on a job interview, and before they went on the interview, they found everything they could about the company and the president of the company. And let's see, I do know that when I was on a job interview once, I told the people how I would be so fortunate to work there. It's such a great organization, and I ended up getting that job. And another thing in the book is you're not supposed to talk about your own achievements. You're not supposed to boast about yourself so much, because other people would rather talk about their own achievements. And using some of the techniques of the book, just the other night, I just asked my husband, well, what are the highlights of your life? And I just sat there and let him come up with something, and it was interesting. He came up with a story about when he was in 6th grade, everyone in the class got a Whopper. That's a big hamburger. And he enjoyed that Whopper so much that it was a highlight in his life. And let's see, when I sell my books, I'm an author, I try to let the book do the selling. I try not to talk too much and let them see what's in the book. And let's see, I guess I'll finish with a quote. If you want enemies, excel your friends. But if you want friends, let your friends excel you. Okay, I'll finish with that. Thank you.
Thank you, Janet, for sharing some wonderful ideas with us. We handle customers, clients every day in day-to-day life, and these are some of the great advice. Thank you for that. Now I will call Hira, who is present number 6. Hira, go ahead, please.
Namaste, friends. Hope you all are doing well in the season of COVID-19. Today, I have assigned 2 chapters. First one is how to get cooperation, and second one with the headline, how to export people onto success. In the first chapter, the author has tried to give some ideas to how to get cooperation from the people. In this chapter, he had given 2-3 examples. I would like to go with the first one, in which he has described a sales manager of an automobile sector. The sales manager was not able to sell his automobiles previously. Then he went to the buyers and asked him what they exactly wanted from him. After getting those ideas from the buyers, he applied them, and after that he succeeded very well in his sector. He has given the author has given another example on that topic, that one person named Visan. Visan has tried to sell some sketches to a buyer who rejected him more than 150 times. But when he went to him and asked him what he exactly wanted from him, then he replied that put his sketches here and he will tell him after some time. After a few days, he went to the buyer and urged him to tell what he exactly wanted. The buyer told him the things which he is trying to see in his sketches, and after that he sketched the same which was the idea of the buyer, and he purchased that sketches and ordered him to give some more sketches by that sketcher. In this chapter, the central idea is that no man or no any person is trying to purchase the ideas of other person. Rather than he's just trying to purchase the idea which is necessary for himself or herself. So in this chapter, the central idea is this, that try to sell those ideas which are needed to the buyer, not to sell the ideas which are our own. This is the central idea of this chapter. And I got from this lesson that it is exactly true that why should one person purchase other body's idea? They are looking for their own ideas. So I will try to implement this in my near future to my students, that what exactly they wanted from me, what they wanted to learn from me. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Virav. Thank you for explaining us how to get cooperation. And I totally agree with you. Like when you are in sales, you need to understand what buyers need. I think this is a kind of vision all the great companies follow here. You guys must have heard companies like Ford, Johnson and Johnson, PepsiCo, Diet, PepsiCo. They try to target their segments and try to understand what the customers need. So I think these were some of the great ideas which we heard from you today. Thank you for that. Now it's time for me to invite my dear friend and presenter, Sakti. Sakti, go ahead.
Hello everyone. The central idea of my story is always put yourself in others' shoes. If you feel that it hurts you, then probably hurts the other person too. Writer has shared an interesting story about a couple. Mr. Douglas' wife loved doing gardening. She used to spend much of the time working on their lawns, pulling weeds, fertilizing, cutting the grass. But Mr. Douglas never recognized her work. Because of some uncertain remarks given by Mr. Douglas, she got distressed. And because of that, their relationship was ruined. After getting a training from Dale Carnegie, Mr. Douglas realized his mistakes. He realized that he should have appreciated, complimented her diligence. He realized that her wife had been enjoying doing gardening. Later on, Mr. Douglas started helping her wife in doing gardening and complimented her that she has been doing a fantastic job throughout. That made her wife feel good, feel better, and the result was that a happier life for both, because Mr. Douglas has learned to look at the things from the other point of her point of view. So the central idea is that always put yourself in others' shoes. If you feel that it hurts you, then probably other people will feel the same. So the learnings and the takeaway from this chapter is that we must appreciate people around us if they have made efforts in execution of some specific task. For example, we should appreciate our family members, our colleagues for their work. It will motivate them. It will make to feel them better. People want sympathy. If you give it to them, they will love you. The other learnings I got that if you are wise, tolerant, and if you consider yourself as an exceptional people, then don't condemn other people, though they may be wrong. Try to understand them. Try to see their perspective of thinking. Try to understand honestly to see things from the other point of view. Appreciate your friends, your colleagues, and the people whom you know. And the learnings which I can implement in my day-to-day life is that whenever we should always try to appreciate our teammates, even though they have some different idea. We should listen them because they want us to listen those things. If you will do that, it will help you to become a leader. If, for example, if your manager asks to stretch some days, then try to think his point of view. Try to take this as an opportunity. Try to take these things as a ownership. Try to show that you are a team leader, you are a team player. This will help you a lot in your career. Last, I want to conclude one quote, that you can only understand people if you feel them in yourself. Thank you.
Thank you, Sakti. Thank you for explaining us how to be compassionate, put yourself in others' shoes, and that way your relationship will get flourished. It will not be ruined, I think. And that are like those are some of the greatest advice anybody can follow. I don't know whether you guys have heard about this book or not. There's a book called Five Love Languages. If you have not read, I would highly recommend to read that, where I think Gary Chapman has explained about those 5 love languages, how to make others important. So it was great learning for all of us from you. Thank you for that. I will move with our next presenter, who is Hira is done, Sakti. So next presenter is, one second. I will ask Nilesh, who is our next presenter. Nilesh, and share your ideas with us.
Sure. Thanks, Ajay. Thanks, everyone. So today I'm gonna talk about a chapter that is ninth chapter of part 3, and this is what everybody wants. So this is a very good chapter. I have gone through, and it has got a great message for everybody who wants to win people, and this is a message all about that only. So author has explained this, that how important the value of sympathizing with others ideas or others desire, and it is very important for us to understand others perspective, uh, and we have to respect their emotions. So he has the author has also explained a few examples, quoting a few examples to strengthen his viewpoint. And one example was that a little girl was going to her class of learning piano, and she had a very long and beautiful fingernail, and she was very hesitant and reluctant to cut or trim her nails shorter. And whenever the teacher tried to convince her, she was she became very angry, and she wanted not to do that. And her mom was also had the same feeling, and she tried to explain this thing to her teacher that she is very much concerned and she really loves her nails. So rather than just advising her or scolding her, the teacher uh, took a very different way. That is this chapter all about. And she explained that, okay, little girl, I know that this is very beautiful, and it looks very good to you. But there is one you'll be surprised to know about this fact that once you will get your nails trimmer and trim your nails shorter, you will be learning this piano very easily and very, very soon. So the way she was trying to convey her message, it didn't seem like that she is against of her cutting nails, but she was sympathizing her idea as well, that she really loved her nails, and she didn't want her to just cut it, and she didn't ask her to not to come to class without cutting it shorter, but rather she was just explaining the other aspect of this, that once you will get it trimmed, then you will learn this piano skill very quickly, very in a very quick span of time. So it hit her. And the next day, our teacher also got surprised along with her mom uh, to see that girl that she herself cut her nails and started, because she was also she wanted to learn piano, and she was also feeling like the same. So this is the way. And the other example, very quickly I'll cover the other example, that there was a hotel that was a very famous hotel, and its escalator, there was some problem in its escalator, it was not working. The team who was trying to fix it, they gave 8 hours of time, but the hotel manager was not very, he wasn't ready to give 8 hours of break. And he just explained that it is very busy hotel, we cannot get our customers or guests suffer because of this 8 hours of hold. So I cannot give you that much time. So the way his manager, so the team asked his manager, their manager, and he came there, and he applied the same rule of Dale Carnegie, that is, sympathizing with others' ideas. And he explained the other way, that if you are not going to fix it now, so it is going to cause more damage to your escalator, and that might lead for number of days. Rather than 8 hours, you may cause 2 or 3 days of inconvenience to your customer. So I don't want to put you in that situation. So rather, 2 or 3 days, I strongly advise you to get this job done completely. So the way he was explaining, he was concerned about his thought, the core thought. The What was the core thought? He didn't want to create any inconvenience to his customer. So he explained in the same thing, but in a different way. That because you are not gonna give 8 hours, it is going to create more problems, and you will be suffering. Your guests will be suffering for 4 or 5 days or 2 or 3 days, whatever. So the central idea of this book is to uh, be sympathetic, with the others' ideas and desire and emotion. And I really learned this thing because there are so many arguments that we can avoid very easily by creating our goodwills, just to eliminate uh, you know uh, ill behavior or thinking. So we can stop it by thinking about others' perspective and think and talk about themselves. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Nilesh. Thank you for doing such a wonderful job. And Dale Carnegie is very special to me because he graduated from the same university where I have been to college. So I can relate to him, you know. And can you imagine a book written in 1930 is still a bestseller for several years? I can't believe, you know, it just blows my mind. All right, it's time for me to move to next presenter who is just me. So I'm going to share my ideas with you guys. Just 1 second. I'm feeling little. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Captain speaking. My name is Ajay. I would like to welcome you on board to Airbus AI 320, flying from New Delhi, India to New Jersey, United States. We are in the process of our takeoff. All the passengers are kindly requested to fasten their seat belts. This is the message you will hear all the time from cabin crew or your pilot when either you are flying internationally or you are flying domestically. Imagine, same message delivered differently. It's mandatory and it's our order to fasten seat belt. Nobody likes to take order. Nobody wants to follow order. That's the central idea author has tried to convey in this chapter. I have allocated 2 chapters and there are 2 central ideas which author emphasized on. Number 1, no one likes to take orders. Number 2, if you are wrong, admit it. Author has tried to reinforce these 2 messages through several anecdotes. And I'm not going to share all the anecdotes with you. I want you to go ahead and read this chapter because if I tell, you will lose the suspense of it. I have few which I would like to share with you today. There is one story where author talked about a teacher at a vocational school in Wyoming, Pennsylvania, United States, where one of his students blocked the entrance way to the school shops by illegally parking his car in the his car. One of the instructors stormed into the classroom and asked in such an arrogant tone, "Whose car is blocking the driveway?" When the student responded, instructor screamed, move the car right now. Move the car right away, else I will wrap up a chain and drag it right out there." Guess what? What could have happened? That day onwards, all the students in the class and has decided to give a hard time to that instructor. And that instructor was never able to convince all the student, right? You will ask me or anybody how he could have handled this situation differently? Answer is yes. He could have handled this situation very differently. He could have came to the class and asked in a polite manner, whose car is in the driveway? And then suggested, if you take the car from this driveway, it will give pathway to others to park their car. There are 4 learnings which strike me a lot and which I would like to share with all of you. Number 1, ask question. Ask question to people instead of giving direct orders. Asking question not only make your order really, it often stimulates the creativity of person whom you ask. Number 2, if you are wrong, admit it. Say about all the derogatory things you know that other person is going to say you or say them before he conveys to you. That way you are not giving a chance to other person to say you all the degrading words. Number 3, very important. Don't feel ashamed to say sorry. I repeat again, don't feel ashamed to say sorry. If you say sorry, that does not mean either you're right or wrong. It means that you respect relationship more than being right, because life is too short. You never know when other person is here or not. Last but not the least, if you are wrong, admit your mistakes. Admit your mistakes with enthusiasm, with exuberance. That will make you a very successful person. If you implement all these ideas all together, I'm sure you would be able to win the people. Is the central core behind this book. And I request all of you to be very kind and compassionate when you are dealing with the people. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ajay, for sharing such a beautiful idea with us.
All right. Now I will ask our next presenter, who is Rinku. Rinku, are you here?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, go ahead, Rinku, and share your ideas with us.
Good evening, all. My topic is and chapter is an appeal that everyone likes. So, in this chapter, so many stories has been given for resolving the issues. For example, there was one story about the car servicing. So there were 6 customers. They came to the service center and they got serviced their car, but they were not paying as what desired by the car service center. So there was some issue. So for resolving the issue, they service person came to the customer, but they were not able to give the total money to them. So when GM of the company came in the picture and he resolved the issue by putting onus on the customer whether you want to pay or no. So in this way, customer got convinced and they paid, and initially they got they gave the repeated order to them. So I mean to say that whenever we have the conflict and whenever we have the contradiction with anyone, so try to resolve it by putting onus to the other person. If you think by making some argument, you will not able to resolve the issue. Definitely you will make the things worse. So whenever you have the issue, conflict, argument, try to put onus on the others. If person is sensible and he understand all the things which you want, definitely he will help you and he will also want to get the chapter closed. But all people are not like this. Some you will get some people who will not understand your thought and who will not understand, and they will not convince with your ideas. They will definitely argue with you. So leave this. Might be they are 1 or 2%. So leave such people. We will.
Rinku, are you here? He has left. I think he has got some family commitment. I understand that. All right, we will go ahead and we will take Rinku little later, because I feel he must have got some family commitment. I will go ahead and ask our next presenter, Adarsh Raj, to share his ideas. Go ahead, Adarsh. Stage is yours.
Yes. Hello. Hello.
I can hear you. Go ahead. All the best.
Hello. Good evening, everyone. I hope all are you doing well. So that today I am here. I tell about this book, How to Win People and Influence People. How to win friend and influence people. This chapter, part 3 of chapter 11 is movies do it, TV doing it, and how and why you and why you do not eat. I read this book, show me how to handle the people and how to win people trust and how to well to good soul. It was few years ago that the reader of Philadelphia newspaper, Evening Bulletin, the rumor was being spread about to has removed the reading material in this newspaper and filled it with advertisement which made the readers less interested in this newspaper. And this step was a big risk for the newspaper, but the newspaper agency also took his subject seriously. After that, he also gave a book along with the newspaper, like a hard copy of the book with 307 pages given in the readers in the name of one day, whose market value would have been a few dollars, but it was given in a few cents only. This book. Excellent. This book one day, this gave the reader more confidence in this newspaper, so that reader got a chance to know more about news. By this event, it appears of the era is dramatic, and it is not enough to just tell the truth, but present in a dramatic and interesting way. We should use showmanship. It happens in TV and it happens in films. If you want to attract the attention of people, then you must do it same one day. Same one day you sit in front of TV set and see how to advertise two dramatic method to sell their goods. For example, advertisers see in TV how an antiseptic medicine changes the color of acid in a test tube, but its rival medicine does not work. A soap advertiser looks like a layer of soap and detergent make the fabrics shiny and white, but while other brands of soap show yellowness reflected in cloth. Similarly, you have to present your face laughing and smiling to sell goods in the advertisement, because people have to motivated to buy goods. I understand it would seem to you can present your idea with criticality in profession and any other aspect. I actually read this book that it is very useful in our life. The author a lot of work in this book. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, others. Thank you for sharing a very beautiful message with us. If TV can do it, why can't you? Definitely, it resonates with me at least. How to sell our ideas, and a lot of salesmen here. A lot of MBA guys on the call, so they would be knowing much better than I do, because I'm an engineer. I will move ahead and ask our next presenter. She is pretty new to our club, and say I would like to welcome Pallavi. Go ahead, Pallavi, and present your ideas in front of us. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Ajay. Hello, everyone. My chapter is part 3, chapter 12. The title is When Nothing Works, Try This. In this chapter, the author is trying to explain that when nothing else is working in winning people according to your way of thinking, just throw down a challenge, because challenges generate excitement. If you want people to cooperate with you, appeal to their desire to excel, their desire to feel important, just throw down a challenge which they just cannot resist taking up. I want to share a story from this chapter. There was a mill manager whose workers were not producing their quota of work. He has tried everything on them, including a warning of being fired, but nothing has improved. So one night, when the owner of the mill arrived and learned about the complete situation, He took a chalk and chalked the number 6 on the floor, which meant the number of lots produced by the day shift workers. When the night shift workers came and they inquired about the number, that what is this, they performed better, and in the next morning they updated the number 6 to 7. Similarly, the next day when the day shift workers arrived, they saw a big 7 instead of 6. They worked hard and they updated the number to 10, which was the highest production of the lot in the mill. So in this way, when the little competition was introduced, productivity got increased. What I learned from this chapter is that people are usually not motivated to work due to different reasons like money, benefits, or good working conditions. It is the work only that motivates people. If the work is interesting and exciting, people will love the work and they will work hard to try and to try a good job, and they will do a good job. So hence a little competition can be good to get the people energized. Implementation is like a competition should be introduced. It will increase the productivity. Also, it will keep the work excited. Another is thing, we should set small goals for ourselves. Rewards must be introduced in a team or in a way of competition which will help people to get motivated. For example, if there is a team and if a competition is introduced in a manner that the person who is going to win the title of the best performer will get a week off, so it will challenge people and they will try to perform better. At last, we all seek a chance of self-expression, a chance to prove ourselves, our worth, to excel and to win. Thank you, everyone. That's all.
Thank you. Thank you, Pallavi. Big round of applause for Pallavi. Thank you for sharing such a wonderful message with us. Definitely, all the corporates are following that. When nothing works, challenge themselves. Create a competitive environment. Those were some great messages, and we are so happy that we learned something new from you today. I will ask Jayant. Jayant is joining us from Atlanta. He is a data scientist. Go ahead, Jayant, and share ideas with us.
Hello all. I hope you are having a great day and are staying safe during this pandemic. So the chapter which I am going to summarize is part 4, chapter 1. If you must find fault, this is the way to begin. So the central idea of this chapter is like, if you are trying to find fault with someone, make sure that somebody does not get hurt a lot, but still you need to convey like, okay, there is something wrong is happening. So to do this, the author suggested 2 main ideas or 2 main techniques. So one of the techniques is like, if you have to say, like, you have to find fault about someone, first try to convey some good things about him or her. Like, just try to have something, start on the positive note, and then convey the negative side of it, of any fault also. This is the one technique. Other technique is like, if you have to find a fault about anyone, just stretch it for some time, and for some days try to have the positive impact on that person, so that if you find fault about them, they will not feel a lot bad. They should also understand, like, okay, someone is finding the fault, then then they may be like, they may be doing something good about them, or something, or like that. So it's not like you should be just blatantly finding the fault about someone. So these are the 2 main techniques to find the fault. So there are different stories the author has told about, and trying to enforce these ideas. So one of the story I will tell about is like, one is about the banker who recently joined the bank, and that banker is having issue with, like, she's a bit slow in doing the accounting things and all. So other accountants came to the manager and said that you should fire that accountant, since she's very slow and it is impacting overall work. So manager went realized and find like what she's doing on the day-to-day basis. So the manager found out that particular accountant is very much good uh, with other like the relationship with other customers, and also it may be taking time in that things and all. So the manager got to know like, okay, what are the different weaknesses, or what's the source of the issue. So after knowing the source of the issue, the manager went to that accountant, sent told some good stuff like, you are having good relationship with the customer, it's very good and all. But still the manager conveyed the fault that, okay, this thing can be improved, like you should manage the time between the customer relationship and doing the actual work of the accountancy. So this particular idea reinforce the like the second important point. And how could you implement this idea in your life? Like, first of all, try to avoid finding fault in anyone. It's not useful to find fault in anyone, because everyone is having the good points, and most of them, if you find it, like most of the people is having the like better good things, and very low, like only some or 2 or 3 points will have a negative side of it. So always look after the positive things. But if you have to find the fault necessarily, so just say the positive things first. Try to do the honest appreciation first, and then put the fault to another person. So this way, you other person will also not feel bad about it, like, okay, someone is criticizing, but other person should feel like, okay, someone is telling me, so it may be like in his or her best interest, so that they can follow their instruction, or correct their faults. So uh, so this is the summary of this chapter. So thanks all.
Thank you, Jayant, for sharing with us how to, if you try to find fault, how to convey them in a constructive way. I know not so positive things about you, and positive things also about you. So, just kidding. You're my friend. All right. Go ahead. I will go ahead and ask others. Who is Dilip? Is our last. Dilip, go
Yeah,
ahead
yeah.
and share your ideas. Sakti, can you make a note of timing for Dilip since he is presenting? All right. I hope Sakti is going to time.
Hi everyone. I am here today to present my learnings and takeaways after the reading of the chapter number 2 and chapter number 5 of the stellar and renowned book called How to Win Friends and Influence People. In the chapter number 2, that name is How to Criticize and Not Be Hated for It. Centrally, the author emphasized on one thing: call attention to people's mistakes indirectly. Here, for elaboration of the central idea of the author, I want to put an example of my life. When I was in standard 8, I couldn't get good marks in my examination. My father scolded me with a very good alphabets. But a friend of mine who lived in the same street has less mark to me in the examination, but his father dealt with him indirectly. The effect of entire episode was that I got demotivated and my friend got motivated. That day I myself realized about the concept and effect of calling attention directly or indirectly. And one thing I also realized that there was a far differences of way of talking of my father and his father. And that was the main point that makes me different with my friend. Now I would like to explain and present my learnings of chapter number 5. That name is Let the Other Person Save Face. In the chapter number 5, the central idea of the author focuses on let the other person save face. According to the author, even we are right and the other person is definitely wrong, we can only destroy ego by causing someone lose face. After reading the chapter, I came to know that how is our face and way of calling affects our life. And I think that it will help me a lot to boost my personal and professional life, as well as to become a good learner of the society and social person also. That's all.
Thank you. Thank you, Dilip, for sharing with us how to let other person save their face. This is really important. We are, hardwired to find faults in people and just blame others. So I think this was a great learning for all of us. Let me see who all left. I think that's all. Deepak is not here, right, today? Deepak is not here because of some reasons. So let me see if he's here. No, he's not here. I think that concludes our today's meeting. We don't have a lot of presenters today because of some reasons. We will give them time to present next week on next Sunday. I have a couple of announcements for next Sunday meeting. Number one is, what is that? What was that? My goodness, sorry. I'm planning to have a fun game for this meeting, so that will take 5 to 10 minutes of your time. We'll start with fun in the next meeting, and the idea is I request everybody to send a picture of their cubicle or a workplace they are working at right now, and just send it to me, email me, and in the next meeting we will ask who's that cubicle is with somebody to understand how well you know your friends, So I will keep my email address here, and you guys can email me one picture of your workplace or cubicle or either your house. Anything could be fine for me. I'm just putting my email address here. I don't send in WhatsApp group. I don't want everybody to look into that, because that is a thrill, right? So that was the one announcement. Number two, since we are done with this book, we will go ahead and take another book. And I have two books at top of my head. The one is The Power of Positive Thinking, and the second is Your Best Life Now. I will go ahead and check with Asutosh, who is providing us all the PDF, which is more easy for him to download and share with us in group, because I already have those two books in. One book at least I have in my shelf. So I will ask him if he can share the PDF with us, or if anybody else know how to download PDFs, they have access to books. I mean, go ahead and do it. If not, then I will ask those tonight to do it, and I will keep you posted by tomorrow that which book we are going to read, which book we are going to take as a book of the week for us. So that was the last announcement. I hope everybody enjoyed meeting, and stay here, stay home, stay safe, and stay healthy. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Ajay. Thanks all. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye. Take care.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Take
Thank
care.
you. Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Sakti? Sakti? Sakti, can you hear me? Sakti, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Do you know how to download PDF? I mean, can you get downloaded? Not
Yeah, I will try to download.
Yeah. What is book title and name of author, right?
Ju- Just ping the name in WhatsApp group and I will download.
All right. Everybody liked Magic of Thinking Big, right?
Yes, yes.
Those two books are on a similar line as compared to Magic of Thinking Big. So, I mean, you can take a word for it that everybody's that book, you know.
Yeah.
So that's all. And yeah, send me a picture of your workplace or your cubicle or your house, and make it so hard to get for others to guess it. Whose picture is that, right?
Yeah. Oh, sure.
Yeah, let's do that and have a good night, everybody, and see you in next.
Oh,
Yep, bye bye.
oh.
Good
Awesome.
night.